Hey guys, how's it going? This is Bradmall coming at you. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. In this one, I've got 5 different ideas for decorative farms that you can sprinkle in your world to just give your world a little bit more life. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first idea that I have here, we're going to be utilizing the actual crops in the game here. So we've got wheat, we've got carrots, we've got potatoes, we've got pumpkins, and we've got melons. And we're just kind of like, imagine this being your a house here, and I just did just a little corner here. And so I just kind of wrapped this around. And I've seen a lot of people do this. This isn't something that I've come up with, but I can't do this video without putting it in here. As far as decorative farms, utilizing actual crops in your builds is a very, especially for a medieval theme, it just adds a lot to your build. Especially, I mean, think about with these shaders and you've got all of this stuff, you know, kind of waving around in the wind. It just adds a lot of life to your builds, and it's real just simple. Just kind of wrapping a building a little bit, and you've got I always do just waterlogged slabs in there, and then just add a little bit, just add some fence posts around the edge. You know, maybe throw a lantern on a fence post over that slab, and you've got that look there. Another way you can utilize this crop is like in a path here. So I just kind of made it like if you in the middle of a path here, you kind of walk down here, and everywhere I had a fence post, I threw some podzol down underneath it just because I thought it looked good with it, you know, instead of just being a dirt block. I thought it worked very well. And so yeah, and just instead of, I mean, you could do just one crop, but I think if you sprinkle them in there and you mix and match with them, it just adds a lot of different variants in color, and it does a trick for you. If you just need some quick decoration, this is just the first one. It's the simple one. A lot of people do it, but you know what, we've got to put it in this video as number one because it's just something that's simple and easy to do right off the bat. You can do this as a starter and just have something that's nice and decorative in your world. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, for our next one, we have a bamboo farm, and this one you could actually farm bamboo. All of these, they're not really meant to be functional decorative farms, but they're just decorative. Like, just if you were thinking as a farm in Minecraft, it's just decoration. It's a decorative farm, so that's why I'm calling them decorative farms. But you could actually farm bamboo from this one here. But it's very simple. We just put sand as our base down here, and we just kind of stair step the bamboo, right? So we've got little baby bamboo down here, and we've got just a deep slate tile wall there, and then just spruce trapdoors on top to keep them from growing, right? And so I think that's what, 6 there. This one is 8, and that one is 10 maybe. You know, just kind of shape it out however you feel. Let's see, 1 2 3 4, and that's 8, and this is 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, so I did 6, 8, and 10, and to achieve that look, and then just kind of stair step them back and, oh, you know, kind of sideways a little bit. But we did sand all the way on the, you know, for the flooring where the bamboo is at, and then I wrapped it in some acacia slabs, did a path block around that, and then on a couple of these, not this one here, but like this one here, I extended one off to hang the lantern just to add a little bit more to that feel. And I tell you what, you'll find yourself doing, you'll use this as parkour. When I was building this and I had this built and I was, you know, coming up with some of the other ideas, I just found myself sitting here just doing and I stink at parkour, but just hopping on that. So you'll find that there. But I really like this one. I think it's real nice, and it's good. This one you can do several different things with this one. Like if you just wanted one of these sections in a path or somewhere in an area, I think this works really well to just fill out an area for a decorative bamboo farm. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, for our next decorative farm, we've got ourselves a coral farm, right? And so I like this idea. It's just very nice. And this would be a very situational farm, you know, maybe something that's by the ocean, you know. And so like this isn't going to fit for every build, every village, but it is something that you can do, and it's really nice to look at. And so what we did here is just kind of made it an organic shape, just going along, just kind of placing cobbled deep slate just every so often, kind of making it is a circle, but it's still a very organic feeling, kind of like this was a natural pool here, and they just started farming this coral in this pool. So that's kind of my thought behind it there. And then we also shaped out our border with cobbled deep slate slabs, threw some polished blackstone buttons on there, a couple lanterns here and there to finish out our border, and then just kind of the coral in here, some sea pickles and some seagrass, just for, you know, just to add some motion into the water. I thought it needed the seagrass because it looked very still and just dead, and so you add the seagrass in there, add some movement, add some life to it. But I really like this one. It's a very simple design, very simple idea. You can go as big or as small with it. You could even, I thought, you know what you could do, you could create create different pools for different colors of coral. And like I said, this isn't a functional farm, but just thinking of a decorative farm, this is something that you could add into your village, that they're farming coral. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, for this next one, we got a couple different options for you here, just to kind of give you some thoughts, you know, maybe give you a little bit of inspiration of what I would do with it, and then you can take it and use it on your own, maybe even combine these two. But what we've got here, we're using these flowering azalea leaves, and in my mind, I'm looking at these and I'm thinking, you know what, you could take these and make them, you could think they look like berries, or maybe you're farming flowers as well too. You could farm the flowers off of them, right? And so you've got some that haven't grown yet, so they can either be berries or flowers, and so that's what we've got going on here. And it's very simple structure for this one here, and I like it. You could use it and you can actually walk between it, so you can put it in a pathway or in a garden or something like that. It's very nice. But all we did was use a deep slate tile wall here, and this is dark oak fence in between there, and then along the top is just more deep slate tile wall all the way around. And then we've got some oak trap doors on the top and inside here to just kind of create that lattice feel, like these bushes are growing on that. And like I said, I like this one. And then course we have coarse dirt all the way on the bottom there, because I just think that makes sense. And you can, like I said, you can walk through this one. This version, we did a full building here, but again, we're farming these berries or flowers off these bushes, whatever you want. And I like to leave a space empty. I don't know, I think it just adds to it by not filling this all the way in. If you want to fill it all the way in, obviously you can do that, whatever you feel, but I like having some missing spaces in there, and especially over here, because how you kind of have to build this building with the trap doors. You can't have a bush right here because it's actually sticking out. So it's good to leave some missing, because it makes that makes sense a little bit more. But we just did a nice little just square building with an interesting roof on top of here. And what I like about this one in here is on the inside, we put some glow berries on the inside of here, just kind of add another little farm. And it actually, there's a little bit of light peeking through when it's nighttime, and so it's a really nice look, really just a really good feeling look when you look at it. Got that little light glowing from the inside, and so yeah, it just kind of pulls you into it, like, oh, what's in here? And you just kind of, just something, just a little bit more. You might not ever go into that building, but it's there if you do, and you walk by and you're just like, oh, I remember doing this. And so yeah, there's that building, there's that idea. You can just create some lattice walls and throw some of these flowering azalea leaves and just the regular azalea leaves, and you've got a berry or flower farm, and you can do it in multiple different ways to make it decorative. So let's move on to the last build. Okay, for our final build here, we have a pergola that is going to act as a farm for us. And what are we farming with this one? We're farming these spore blossom flowers here. And so I really like this build. There's a lot of detail. I took some inspiration from a gazebo that I made in a previous video, kind of the same kind of design for this here, but I just like it's very interesting, a lot to look at here. And so it's a good decorative piece, and so a good decorative farm. And so let's see, let's start with the structure first. What we've got here is we've made some interesting pillars with a beehive, a lectern, cobblestone wall in between, and then just repeat that again, lectern and a beehive on top of that. And then in between those pillars, we've got oak fence gates, and then an oak fence right there in the middle. And we did that over here too, just kind of just spacing them out evenly, what makes sense here. So there's 2 gates there, this one, there's 3 in between, and 2. So just kind of, making it symmetrical. And then we just did that all the way around. And then on top of the gates and the fences, we put our campfires, extinguished those. And then we have leaves in here, but then you also have, because the spore blossom, they have to be on the moss block, right? And so, or that's one of the blocks they can be on, and so we put the moss block for the spore blossoms to be on, and it blends in well with the leaves. You don't really just kind of see a big difference in there, so it blends in well. And then just on top of there, we threw trapdoors all the way on top. If you don't have to necessarily put the trapdoors on top of the leaves, but when you're going underneath, you can kind of see the trapdoors through the leaves, so it makes sense to me that they're growing on those. Again, the trapdoors, just kind of like the vines have grabbed a hold of the trapdoors and they're growing down from there. And so that's kind of, in my mind, that's what makes sense. But you don't have to have the trapdoors all the way over the leaves. I would probably go ahead and wrap the border with them. But then underneath, another thing that we did to kind of add a little bit more to this is lightning rods and then end rods. And what I imagine those being is just kind of like the flowers haven't, you know, budded yet or opened yet. I don't know if you're familiar with flowers, but like lilies, you know, they bud up and then they open. And so I could see these, you know, the flowers, they're growing down and then they spring open to this here. And so I think it just adds a good look. And then of course you get this the green particles flying around. Down here on the bottom, I didn't mention this, but we've got mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks, and then coarse dirt making up this down here. And I just, with all this green floating around, it's got to be getting on the floor, right? And so that's why I use just mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks, because all the green has got to get on the floor. But there's that. I think it's a beautiful little structure. You can go as big or as small with this as you want, you know, whatever needs you need, you know, whatever needs you need, whatever you need to fit, you know, a space for you. This is very versatile that you can, you know, it doesn't have to be as tall, it can be bigger, it can be smaller, whatever you need, it's going to work for you. And it's just, like I said, it's a nice, beautiful little piece to just fill a space. So that is our last and final build for our decorative farms. All right, that one didn't take us very long to get through. I hope that you enjoyed each one of these builds. I hope that you got a little bit of inspiration, maybe got an idea from one of these and you're like, you know what, I can take that and do something different with that. That would be awesome. And you know what, if you do have that inspiration, I would love to see what you do with it. So you can send me a picture over on Twitter, and like I said, if you just pull some inspiration, you're like, you know what, I like that idea, but I can do something better, I would love to see it. So send me a picture over on Twitter. But thank you guys for watching the video. If you're new here, would you consider subscribing? We have passed the 600 mark and we're on our way to 1,000. And I appreciate everybody hopping on board and everybody that is liking the videos and joining the community. Welcome, welcome, and I appreciate you being here. If you get the bell on, I've been streaming here on YouTube, so you want to get the bell on to get notified for that and catch the streams. I got a face cam up. We've been playing, just kind of playing some chill Minecraft, and it's just a good time. I play with some buddies on a realm and we have a lot of laughs and really just kind of chill and build some stuff, and it's just a good time. So get the bell on so you can see that. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.
I got nothing to worry about when you're by my side. I got nothing to worry about when you're by my side.